Welcome to the Kate Molland channel. My podcast is now in progress. Let's tune in.
Okay, Jay, what's your question for today?
You know how there's so many people complaining about online dating or not being able to find the right person at a coffee house or a club, even in social environments. That is not unusual to hear those types of complaints. Do you agree?
I agree. People completely complain all the time about not being able to find qualified individuals to date online.
So a woman has an idea. What she does is she made up her mind and said, I'm tired of all that, so I'm going to get me a piece of cardboard. And she wrote on the cardboard, looking for a husband. And on the bottom, she put her Instagram address. And she began holding the sign way above her head and started walking the streets of New York City, back and forth. The woman is, I'm assuming she's like around her late 30s or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I believe she's a Russian girl, very attractive Russian girl, actually, because she was already on Instagram and put those beautiful pictures up, and She wasn't finding anybody. My question, what do you think of a woman who is that imaginative, adventurous, and brave to walk the streets of New York City where all the business people are saying, I'm looking for a husband?
I think good on her, but it reminds me, I reflect back to this one TV show I was watching, and back when Venmo started, there was a kid who was on, like, in the background of this college football program.
Okay.
And he put, like, I need beer money, and he put his Venmo. And sure enough, people just appreciated the imaginativeness or the imagination that he had on this, mm-hmm. and sent him money. And so I see, like, the ingenuity. Obviously, she got some attention, right?
Okay, so we're talking about a woman seeking love. Now, that guy who wanted beer money, sometimes people will give you money so you can go to hell. They want you to go to hell. I want vodka, you got it. You want pot money, you got it. But love is the question here, a husband. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think, you did feel that it was a positive move, but do you?
I think it is. I think it's a positive move, because she can control her Instagram. She's creating a way for people to approach her, but not reveal too much of herself. So she can be strategic about the things she is revealing on her Instagram to allow people to see her. It's a way for people to communicate with her without giving out her private information, being her phone number, her address, things like that.
So her walking around with that sign saying, I'm looking for a husband, what do you think the response was of men who saw that?
I would think men would be okay with that.
A lot of men jumped on their knees right in front of her and said, will you marry me? There's so much video on these guys getting on their knees saying, I'll take your hand in marriage. A lot of people were applauding her. Yeah. A lot of people were videotaping her.
Okay.
But I can tell you this, she went from 50,000 followers to over 270 as a result of it, 270,000.
Wow.
Okay. Now, at the end of all that walking around day after day after day, she is now interviewed by Fox Television.
Okay.
She's on the show.
More exposure there.
Yeah, I saw the interview. And she admitted that she may have found one person. She doesn't really know if this guy is going to work. And it was the one guy who walked over to her and just picked her up off the ground and said, I'll marry you. And so she said, let's see where we go with this. Mm-hmm. And so it's still kind of open-ended. Okay. But she does insist that she wants somebody with a good soul. But from your standpoint, you would see the fun, and I'd see the fun in that, but I wouldn't take her serious.
I can see where maybe you don't take her seriously at first, but you put yourself out there and you're like, you know what, let me DM her, or, let me reach out to her, because you may not hear back if she's getting all this response.
What kind of guy would do that? What kind of guy would respond to a girl walking around with a sign? What does that tell you about the guy? He could be a fun guy. He could be a crazy man. What are your thoughts on that?
He can be a guy that maybe hasn't necessarily been looking for love, but hasn't, because he's not inspired by what he sees around him. So maybe he's not meeting the right people, or because he's probably trying to meet somebody socially. He's probably not online. He's probably trying to meet somebody socially. And so he's willing to put his hat in the ring, so to say, in case maybe she replies.